Is Father still doing Mass? No? Okay. Sure. All right, let's bring our organizer up. Dave Davis, one of Long Island's leading citizens, co-founder of Davis and Ferber Law Group, worked diligently with the Suffolk County PBA to put this together. And let me tell you, I'm looking out at this audience right now and these rally goers, and it couldn't get any better than this. And we've got the PBA to thank, and of course we've got Dave Davis to thank. Dave, the microphone is yours.
Thank you. Everybody, let's hear it for Tom Shalero, Long Island News. So I have a question. Why are we all here today? It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Why are we all here? I'll tell you why. Because the world is upside down. Rioters and looters are praised while the police are vilified, and that is unacceptable. I am the son of a veteran who became a police officer and later became a PBA attorney. I'm a PBA attorney for 27 years at Davis and Ferber. I've spent my entire career helping police unions and other labor unions. And let me tell you, those unions are more vital now than ever to protect our rights. But I knew that there was also a silent majority of the public that agreed with me and that supports our police and our law enforcement. And that is why I decided to organize this event. I want to thank, there's so many people who helped put this together. I want to thank the many politicians that are here today to back the blue and lead us into a more promising future. Most of all, I want to thank all of you for coming and showing that the rioters and looters have no place in our society, but the police are near and dear to our hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, as many of my clients here today will attest, I can go on at length. But I won't. Let me set a good example to start this. Keep my remarks short. I ask everyone to do the same. We have many wonderful speakers today. Thank you all for coming, and please enjoy the day.
Thank you, Dave. One more round of applause. Let's hear it for Dave. This was a lot of work. This was a lot of work. You know, when we look out at what recent events in this country had brought, we saw so many of our police officers didn't make end of their watch. And we have folks represented today that have experienced that personal pain. And the country needs to see that. The country needs to hear this. It's that important. So that we can get a clear picture on why we're here today and how important it is. Our next speaker is Genesis Familia. She is the daughter, I believe, of Mia Sotis. You may remember that case. Just a wonderful, wonderful police officer in the city of New York. She's here today to just say a few words.
My name is Genesis Familia, and I'm Detective Miosotis Familia's eldest daughter. On July 5th, 2017, right after midnight, my dear mom, Detective Miosotis Familia, was assassinated while working in the mobile command unit in the confines of the 46th prison in the Bronx. A coward who held a deep contempt for police pointed a gun at my mother through the window while she was looking down, running in her mobile blanket, and fired a shot into her head. Ever since that night, great nation with my brother Peter and my sister Delilah, who were only 12 years old at the time. At around 10 p.m. on July 4th, my mom came into my bedroom and she told me that she was going to be leaving for work. She came in and she gave me a hug, and then she walked back out and stood in the doorway, and we looked at one another. I said, "Mom, can I have another hug?" And she smiled at me with that beautiful smile of hers. And she said, "Yes, of course." And she hugged me, what would have been the last time that I would have hugged her. I told her, "Okay, bye, Mom. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow." Just 2 hours later, she would be murdered in cold blood. Losing my dear mom in such a brutal and gruesome manner, it was one of the most horrific experiences I've ever had to endure in my entire life. And not a day goes by that I don't miss her and have to live with this hole in my heart for the rest of her life. I was in the hospital room with her, and I held her hand and I begged her to come back. She was already dead in front of me. That's something that no child should have to see. No kid should ever have to see their parent dead in a hospital bed with a bullet wound to her head. My mom was a 12-year veteran with the New York Police Department and spent the entirety of her policing career working in the Bronx. My mother loved being a cop, and she was proud to work for the greatest and most famous police department in the world. She once told me that being a police officer was a true calling, and that was the truth. My mom was a true patriot, and she loved this country and was proud to be an American. Detective Yusofi Samalia was an amazing daughter to my elderly grandmother who she took care of. An awesome and loving sister to all of my uncles and aunts. And she was a fun aunt herself to my own cousins. And most importantly, she was a mom to me and to my younger brother and sister, who I now have to be a mom to. And I raised on my own. My mom, like every other police officer on the job, sacrifices so much time from their friends and their family to protect all New Yorkers. Put her life on the line every day to make New York City a better place, and she truly felt that. She was an amazing human being, and she was taken from me and those that loved her just for the blue uniform that she wore. I just want all Americans to remember that these cops out here protecting and serving the communities that they do every single day are human beings with families and loved ones who need them to come home. Just how I needed my mom to come home to me that night. It is so important to me to be here today to talk about my mother and what she meant to me and my siblings. My mom was my very best friend. And it's so important for me to be here today to talk about her and who she was as a person, especially since all of these violent attacks that have been taking place around the country on innocent police officers are because of their uniform, just how my mother was targeted for her uniform. It is so important to support all of our law enforcement officers across the country and police officers here in New York, and to let them know that we have their back. We will always be there to support them. Thank you.
and gentlemen, if that doesn't say it all, nothing else does.
Back to blue! Back to blue!
When Genesis said that her mom wanted to wear that blue uniform because she cared about her community, she cared about her city, she cared about the NYPD, that says it all. And risked her life and lost her life over that. And we're here today because of Genesis, and that was wonderful. What you said, and how much love you have for your mom, and how much love that we have for you and your family, and the good luck that we wish for you in the future. God bless that family. God bless that family. We also have Susan Ciano here, Lisa Tuzzolo, both of their spouses. We lost Glenn. Glenn was with the Suffolk PD, and Lisa Tuzzolo, Sergeant Tuzzolo, was lost in NYPD. They are here today. They are feeling that same pain. That's why we back the blue. That's why we love the blue. And that's why the police are a main part of our community. And that's why we're here today. God bless them all. God bless Genesis. Next speaker, good friend, just a great law enforcement professional, one of Long Island's leading citizens, Noel DiGirolamo, president of the Suffolk County PBA. Oh, good job. Okay. Right before we get to Noel, president of Survivors of the Shield. I'm sorry, Kathy Vigiano. Kathy Vigiano.
Hello, thank you for having me here today. I'm the widow of Detective Joseph Vigiano, who was killed in the line of duty on September 11, 2001. I'm a retired police officer, and my son is a police officer. I'm a resident of Suffolk County. I want to know the numbers. I want the press to report the real numbers. How many radio runs does a cop go to? Because each one of them has a victim. How many times do our police officers put their lives on the line, taking illegal guns off the street? New York City police officers took 607 guns off the street in the month of September alone, without incident. Suffolk County Police Department, 216 criminal possession of a weapon arrests, multiple guns included in that. From car stop to going on a call with a description of a violent perpetrator, every time a police officer stops one, he puts himself in danger. He doesn't know who he's stopping. He doesn't know when he pulls you over with a broken light who you are, but we all know who he is. It's his job to ensure our safety. It's his job to come home to his family. To the criminals, I say, how dare you? How dare you put his life in danger, resisting, whether passively or violently, forcing him to use the tools on his gun belt. How dare you? Why is that not a question the press asks? We are here today to back the blue. But it's not enough to just back the blue. We must support the blue by voting. We must vote for politicians who support safe communities and police officers who patrol them. We need to vote for DAs who prosecute people destroying our communities, not people who are forced to defend themselves. We need to vote for assemblymen, senators, congressmen, governors who make the laws to give our police officers the tools to make sure they go home safely to their families each night. Do I sound angry? I am angry. I'm angry at the amount of violent prisoners who are let out daily. I'm angry at the discretion was taken away from our judges by clueless politicians who made the ridiculous no bail law. I'm angry at the press for not reporting the real numbers, the amount of new victims being created each day because of these ridiculous laws. The officers in our communities are members. The officers are our community members. They are our volunteer firemen, our clergy, our children's coaches. They are the kind of people that make communities safe. Thank you for coming. Back the blue by voting.